Ever get concerned and worried? Because obviously, injuries do happen in all sports, but in racing in particular. And when they do happen, they can be pretty nasty. There will be concerns there, presumably.
Well, that's a funny question because everybody always says, "Oh gosh, you must get so worried about Ryan racing," and it's actually the only time I'm not worried about him.
Really?
Because I have so much confidence in his riding ability, and I know that every time he goes out, he will do the best that he can, and he's strong, and he just knows what he's doing. He's a professional, so that is the one thing I'm not concerned about at all is when he's on a horse.
Famously, you got very disheartened. You got into a very dark place with yourself, which must have been stressful for you and your family as well. But you got through the other side. And how did you do that? Because you hooked up with a dietitian.
Yeah, I did. Well, I retired. I had a lot going on in my personal life, and which affected my weight and things like that. And this was all before I really met Annie. To be fair, it was she was a huge help to pulling me out the other side. But at the same time, I had there was so much going on. I had to walk away from something, and I walked away from racing, which was a shame at the time. But it did allow me to live a bit of a life. And I still stand by the fact that if I hadn't walked away, then Annie and I would never have got married, because at the time I didn't like who I was and what I was doing, and we probably wouldn't have stuck it out, because no one would have wanted to have been with a miserable old jockey. So to take the time off was probably the best thing I did. And then eventually you realise I've made a mistake, and Annie was very supportive and agreeing with me that I would go back and try and be a jockey. And getting in touch with a dietitian, it was just life changing. I thought a diet meant that you couldn't eat, but it's not. It's about eating the right things, and so I have a much better understanding now of how to control my weight and control my lifestyle. And I mean, it was, as I say, it was completely life changing having that dietitian just explain it all to me.